Welcome to Sports Sushi. Your chefs for tonight are Sports Plug Russ, serving up the spiciest sports takes of the week. Sterling Furrow, rolling the X's and O's into an analytical maki platter. And finally, the moderator who always keeps the sake flowing, DJ Slow Boogie. Now grab those chopsticks and get ready, because your order of fresh and raw sports sushi is up.
Hi, welcome to Sports Sushi.
You know what it is. Every Wednesday, man. New episode of Sports Sushi. Welcome. We are live.
Welcome to the hump day harassment.
It is International Women's Day today, so shout out.
I shouldn't have said that
women.
then.
What?
Should have nothing. Just move forward.
You know
International Women's Day. Shout out to Women's Day. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? No. But shout out to Flex Mom. But if you are now listening to us, please, we are now live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. We will be uploaded. The show will be uploaded the following day or two onto the Spotify and all podcast directories. That's Apple Podcasts and whatever else you can use. Daily Motion, Odyssey, and Rumble as well. So
watch it, bitch. Watch it.
Say it again.
Watch it, bitch. Watch it.
All right. So, and if you are watching, you can see these two light-skinned, bearded, good-haired, good old American guys here.
From somewhere around the way of Louisiana, Mississippi, somewhere down there.
Yeah, third
the
coast.
Gut of America.
Mm-hmm.
The underbelly.
Yeah, a lot of culture there, but
food and football, but get food and football.
Hey, it's either or. And sometimes they put the Bible in there too, but
it's worth it.
It is. Sterling
praise him.
Sterling will be joining us, as usual. He is a busy man, a busy person, so he will be.
That he is.
He will be wrapping up his other obligations, and he'll be joining us momentarily. I made that word up.
Sterling, a nigga to get to the party late all the time, but we really don't care because when he come, we have a little bit more fun. So
yeah,
it's all right.
So yeah, it's all good. But
I used to have a homie like that in college. We would be like, "Yo, what time y'all going to the party?" And all of us would be like, "Boogie, you trying to get there when it's free? Yeah. I ain't got no money." And we had this one homie that always would wait till 10:30 and say, "Let me take a shower." If you know, you know. And damn you, nigga. And you know what our dumb ass would do? Wait for him to take the shower. Or just one of us would take the plunge. We'd be like, hey, one car going and one car staying. So one of y'all going to have to pay this 20. You know how it was 20, 30, 40, 50, something to get in. This is before the time of sections, y'all. You was just standing in the middle of the hot sweat.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Enjoying yourself. Oh, okay. But go ahead on. Let's go.
Yeah, man, you had to get in before 11, dog. That was
man.
That was a trick, but like most people would just be like, nah, I'm just gonna make a fashionably late entrance.
Man, now that I'm old, those people were smarter than us because that's a long time. You gotta be po to want to go before 11 to get in for free. We was po though, we didn't have no money, so it's cool. But like it was like, damn, nigga, you in the club for 5 hours.
And see, the thing was, y'all would show up there like after like put it like this. I was there the earliest because I had to DJ most of these.
You had the obligations where you had to get paid.
I was like, I would be there like at fucking 9 and shit like that, knowing goddamn well ain't nobody showing up till 11:30.
Nah, shit. After a while, you knew we wouldn't come for a while because after a while we got privy to this thing called a list.
Oh yeah.
Nigga found out how to get on the list and said, "Ooh, what? Yeah. Oh, I'm not leaving the house till 12:30. Yep. Nigga, I'm coming to the club for 1 hour, nigga.
Yep, and
I ain't even famous. I'm on 1 hour, nigga. Walk through, boom.
Yeah, a good walk through. I'm hitting the bar pretty hard, and then I'm going.
Bro, you give me 2 hours at most. I'm telling you. The older you get, sometimes you roll over and be like, "We still going, nigga?" Shit, it's not, nigga. Fuck. Go to strip. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. And see, and people don't understand. It was like it's a mathematical equation. You go to the bar, you get something to drink, and then you'll go to the strip. just to go ahead and get something to eat most of the time. But then, they didn't have nothing to eat, and you just have to go ahead and settle for some tits. But hey,
Hey, but either way,
yeah,
you gonna win.
You gonna win.
You gonna win. You gonna have a good night. Yeah. Have some fun.
Yeah, bro. Then, strippers are people too, so you gotta support the economy. Each way you can.
Love from Uncle Boogie. Look at this.
Hey man, look, let me tell you something, man. I've DJed in every crevice of America. Right?
Ooh, crevice of He said I've DJed in every crevice of America, so I've seen a lot of crevices in America. Let me tell you.
I've seen the peaks of valleys and the depths of I've seen the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows, brother. I can tell you. I've seen some shit, okay?
Oh, shit. I went to a strip club once and the chick was eating pizza on stage.
Oh, yeah, bro.
She was done. I was like, yes, their career must be over. This must be her victory lap. She was on that bitch with a slice of pizza, nigga, New York style.
Leg trick. That's what she
bro,
did.
yeah. Eating now, I said... At first, I wanted to be like disappointed in her, but then I was like, well, "Nigga, why are you here?" I had to look in the mirror and say, "Why are you here when the pizza and chickens?"
Hey, bro, it was her rotation, dog. Sometimes, she didn't want to get skipped. She was hungry and she probably didn't want to get taxed, bro. Hey, when you get skipped, you get taxed.
Get it how you live, America.
Hey, man.
Flex bomb for those that get it how they live. Mm-hmm. Flex bomb for the strippers out there that watch us that like sports.
Hey, man, look, y'all make the world go around, all right? Okay, so
the words of the great American poet, Two and the Chains, and I let them strippers.
Hey man, and a great segue to International Women's Day. We just had a whole strip club. What's called anyway?
We gonna disrespectful as fuck, but you know what I'm saying. Truth be told, we love all of them, from the strippers to the money getters, and some might say that's the same woman. So shout out on this day in sports in 1986, Martina Navratilova became the first tennis player, male or female, to earn $10 million. Get your money.
Get your money, man.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, clap it up. You know what I'm saying? We got to shout out to the women. You know what I'm saying? We love the strippers and we love the women athletes. We give a shout out to those that are doing the broadcast on ESPN today. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a fantastic job. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a fantastic job. And let's move forward before my goofy side takes over and I start to make some motherfucking jokes. UFC happened. Oh, Boogie. I know this is what you know. I know this is what you know. But
I'm kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. I know last week you tuned in, you heard my predictions. One was right, one was wrong. Shout out to Grasso, man. She choked out, you know what I'm saying? Choked out my wife, dog.
Oh yeah, your wife was like had the white mark.
Yeah, bro.
Like she had no circulation. This part of her body was like dead skin.
Yeah, bro.
Took a little while for that to come back, but I wasn't even gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ghost.
Shout out to Dorisburg. Shout out to Dorisburg and those who love her dearly.
Yeah, man.
Go be great.
Yeah, so internet. Shout out to Grasso for International Women's Day, but in my book, she got the choke out, but it was a big upset. I wanted Shevchenko to win. But hey, man, run it back, man. That's all I gotta say. Just run it back. Let the bullet get hers. Let her get a chance. You know what I'm saying? To for a rematch. But let's get to it, man. John Jones, go. Like
I'm just. Why we always gotta talk about wait.
Shout out to Ghost, man.
Shout out to Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like as you can see, Ghost is one.
Yeah, Zhang Weili. He's a Zhang Weili would never.
In his eyes, he don't be careful.
Hey man,
kill for her. And he don't even know her. She don't even buy this in their Christmas gifts, but he will kill for Weili. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something, man. I'll say this, man. If Zhang Weili and Shevchenko ever squared up, I'm still put my money on Shevchenko easily.
I got to get you and Ghost in the same building.
Hey man, you can get us in the same. Ghost, all you gotta do, dog, is just get set up, man. We can bring you in here on a video chat, brother.
No, I'm talking about I gotta get y'all in the same building on the Ghost is ready for that. I'm talking about just send him the link. I just gotta you already know. I'm just trying to say, talk about when if they do fight, I would need y'all in the same place with wings, pizza.
Oh yeah.
And the fight. You know what I'm saying?
110%.
But I'm just saying, if you watch around there, you hit that link, subscribe, hit the bell, the icon. As you can see, comments, because if you comment and chat with us, we will chat back.
Yeah, man, that's kind of like the whole deal.
And that's facts, no printer.
Yeah.
So I had to, Boogie. I've had to.
I know, brother.
I've been wanting to say that for like 6 months out loud. I remember the song and. Okay, go ahead.
All right, but the thing with John Jones was John. Okay, so I seen the fight. The fight was very quick. Like the fight was literally like you can watch the fight, the whole thing on Instagram if you find the link. Like,
man, that shit might be on a TikTok somewhere.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Really, intro to end.
It's a TikTok fight, dog. So, John,
it's the new phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's a TikTok fight.
Yeah,
that nigga put you on a TikTok, bro. You didn't even last long enough for them to say, "Hold up, wait, bro, 10 minutes." That's all you need.
Bell to bell, TikTok fight, bro. It was more gifs I've seen than of the celebration and shit like that than the actual action,
bro.
But Jones took minimal damage, made quick work of Gon. One of the breakdowns I've seen, and I can't give credit to the guy because I can't remember it, but he did a very thorough breakdown for a quick fight, and it was pretty much highlighting how John is a wait
a minute, hey, my man jumped in. Wait a minute, we got Flex Bomb Sterling coming in. What did I tell y'all? He liked it. They come late to the party. Hey, Boogie, what you do when your homie come late to the party? You the DJ. You gotta shout him out from the DJ. And when nigga Sterling just wanted to build it,
hit the air horn.
Somebody with a fat ass buy my nigga a drink.
Yeah, man.
It's International Women's Day. He's international and he like women. Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. You learned it, Russ.
What does Andrew Caldwell say? I love the women's.
Oh shit! Yes. Oh, it's a party in this bitch now. Oh man, it's a party. I
remember that thing down there. I remember Andrew Caldwell now. I was like, why does that name sound familiar? Then I remember I said, oh yeah, it's him. He was a wild Sterling, surprisingly.
We was talking about John Jones whooping that ass.
So back.
Man.
Yeah.
I just want to see Sterling's reaction off top.
Yeah,
that dude, if he's not the pound for pound best MMA fighter of all time, I don't know who is. And I'm not even like a real, like, I can't speak to it like you do, Boogie, or like you do, Russ, but like for that dude to be out of fighting for what, 3 years, 3 years? 3 years and come in and whoop some ass, basically, and choke dude out, like off the couch, He tells you a bad motherfucker.
Bro, he whooped that nigga ass like, hey, now you need to stop. Like he told him, you need to stop 3 times. Hey, it's saying what you want.
And the thing about Jones was this: it was like you can look at like we said, it's a TikTok fight. It was so super quick. You can watch it on a TikTok or Instagram clip. But the one thing that John Jones did
was an IG reel.
Exactly. Like the one thing that John Jones did was that he kept disrupting the base of Don, where when he couldn't recover, defend himself properly for the takedown, or when he got him on the ground, he couldn't get into a position to where he could get an advantage. Jones basically, once he got a hold of the back, he controlled and slipped it in. Put that guillotine in, and Gon just said, "Hey, bro, I know it ends here. I don't need to go ahead and
break my neck."
Yeah. So
I don't want to break my neck. Let's just be what it is. This big nigga about to break my neck.
Yeah.
But now I from what I saw was just he was. Then this is Jones. He was bigger, but he was like comfortable. That's the word I was looking for. He's bigger, but he was comfortable.
Yes.
Like he looked like I'm bigger at this weight, but this works. You know what I'm saying? And then when he was talking about I got my hands on him, the only thing I can think about is, and this is why I love sports so much, because if y'all don't know who his brothers are, one of his brothers was Chandler Jones and
Arthur
Jones.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yes, and both of them have won Super Bowl rings, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
Both of them are all pro. Did both of them all pro
Yes.
defensive linemen in the NFL?
I thought Arthur was a offensive lineman. I'm not.
Oh no, he was.
There.
No, you might be right. You might be right. I thought they were D tackles though. I thought Arthur was a D tackle.
I might be mistaken. I don't.
I think he's on the defensive side of the ball.
But be that as it may, America, you know who Chandler Jones is, people.
Yes.
That's John Jones' brother. And so when I see that in the way that he's had two brothers that have NFL weight on them, that just let me know by seeing that, like, oh, he gonna be a straight heavyweight. Like, this is he might be able to put on more weight. Like, his family build, as you can see, is able to play and slap around offensive linemen. And so that's another thing that came to mind. Me and a homie were talking, and it was pretty funny because, like, you have those guys as your brothers. One, imagine beefing with them niggas in high school. Yeah. Oh my God, you hold that hoe. I want to know. I would love if you the nigga that fought the Jones brothers back in the day. We know you lost. If you won, please let us know how and what gun you used. But I'd love to hear that story because beefing with them growing up would have been a terrifying experience. But yeah, just the fact that they're that big and he can hold that weight. That was just amazing to see how that transfers.
I think Chandler's the youngest, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, now that's fucking
I think so.
Scary. That's fucking scary, dog.
Yeah, hey, if you fought somebody or not fought somebody because of who their brother was, knowing if you fight him, you're gonna have to fight the brother, bro. Just think about that.
Could you imagine seeing John and Chandler and then Arthur coming and be like, "Damn, nigga, y'all got a wide one too? The fuck?" Like, nah, bro. Like, them three dudes, and yeah, them three dudes is stupid. But John Jones is just, to me, he is the GOAT. Can I get a higher? Like, yeah, he's the GOAT. But and that was when I looked, I said, yeah, John Jones is one of us. He's a man of the people.
Yes.
But no, he is the GOAT, the only person that I've ever seen in the MMA that makes me even think about, like, that I could just say, like, nah, he's GOATed like that was Anderson Silva. And John Jones to me is even better than that. You may have someone else, Boogie, but the floor is yours.
No, I got John. John is at the top of my list, man. But if I got to put a number 2 there, is GSP. Yeah, I can't.
Here come Ghost.
I can't disrespect the man. I can't disrespect him. Like, a lot of people want to throw Khabib over GSP. I don't believe in that. I don't
think Khabib fought for long enough. Told you. Here you go. That's Ghost. Ghost. Hey, you'll kill for GSP.
Is he coming in? Is he coming in the show or what?
We need to send him a link. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if he's free.
Ghost, get in here.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, if he's got one, Ghost will jump up in this bitch. All right, no, my nigga Ghost ready.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, he's bringing Hennessy.
He's bringing Hennessy. But no, that's pretty much what I took away was that this man can take off for 4 years. And one thing he did say that to basically backdoor what Russ just said was that he after he became 250, he said that he still moved like he was 205. So he was he still was light on his feet. He still had had the punch the punching power of the heavyweight. But the next thing that John Jones is looking to fight is he's going to fight Stipe Miocic, and who a lot of people consider the heavyweight GOAT. So if John Jones can put him down, which I think he is going to put Stipe down,
man, that's something that, like, when you say it, you say it to yourself like, damn, I just said that like Stipe ain't shit.
No,
you think about who he's fighting, you're like, Stipe, you awesome, but
like, look,
John different.
Like, whenever Stipe was, and people were saying that Stipe was, the heavyweight GOAT, no disrespect, and I'm just repeating, people are saying no disrespect to Fedor or anything like that. But like, whenever he was going to fight Francis, I remember I was at fucking Jersey Mike's sub shop, and I was talking to a person making my sandwich, and I don't know this kid, and he asked me, he said, "Do you think that Francis is going to get the belt?" I said, "Francis is going to fucking KO Stipe, because all he needs to do is just hit one shot. He's going to," and then I said, "Then it's going to be Jones." I said, "Now, Jones and Francis, I don't know." I will still give the edge to Jones because I think Jones is going to go ahead and he's going to do everything he needs to do to put that fight on the ground and to minimize any type of standing up chances to where, you know, if Francis were to contact him, you know, Francis needs one. He just needs one punch. He's one punch, man, bro. He's one punch.
He's got the real life Thor hammer.
Yeah. So if he hits you one time, you're going to go down. And we've seen it happen with Stipe, where Stipe couldn't really even get his game plan, you know, off the ground because, you know, Francis came in there very patient. He wasn't swinging for the fences. He came in there, picked his shots. Stipe was like, oh shit, got hit with a shot, went down. You know, he folded like everybody knows. He folded like a lawn chair and then boom, you know. But
like most humans would probably do if they got hit by Francis.
But you know, John Jones definitely called out Stipe. Francis said some, you know, Francis replied, told him good job, Johnny boy. Sincerely, the heavyweight king. And John Jones replied and said that Francis is a big old pussy.
Yes, he did. And then I believe he said it as well.
Yeah, he said it.
When people asked him about it, he did say it as well. Yes. So, man, John Jones is about that life.
Yes,
but I think that I do think that what we are seeing is a great setup, though, because if John Jones does what we all think he does and beats Stipe, then we know that next thing's coming up is who is you calling a pussy.
Yes.
And then we're going to get to see that. But I do think that's John Jones' way of saying, y'all can see the ladder that I have to climb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to climb this shit in about 3 years, and y'all going to call me the greatest fighter that ever lived.
Yes.
But,
you know, that's never been a secret for John. John always wants to be
sorry to interrupt, but Conor McGregor looks awesome. No homo. Dude looks ready to fight. My God, man, he looked like he about to knock the next person he fight out.
If we're talking about Conor, let's just go ahead and you know, I seen somebody say that Joe Rogan said something of that, you know, if Conor has like enough steroids in his system for some shit. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, look.
I mean, Sterling, have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
He look like a DB.
Yeah.
Hey, Ghost baby! What happening?
What's up, Ghost? What's up?
What's up with you?
America, let me introduce you to my nigga Ghost.
Hey, man. Hey, thank y'all for having me. Hey.
Lower it down a little bit. We just see the dome. Look like a milk dud. Chocolate top. Oh, what's up? There we go. Now we little bit higher.
You got me?
Up a little bit. There you go. Right there. There you go.
Hey, there we go. My bad. Hey, best podcast around. Hey, I love y'all boys, man. Hey, keep doing what y'all do, bro. Keep doing what y'all do. Hey, so look, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump in. First off, hey, Wei Lee and Shevchenko fight, yeah, that's definitely going to be, we turning up for that. Food, wings, having a platter. So, yeah.
A platter.
A platter of whatever.
Platter.
You know what I'm saying? But, hey, you know what? When it comes to Jones, like, so, you know what? I pretty much been following, like, just I'm a big MMA fan. I started watching MMA, like, if people that follow it, Tito Ortiz, that's what got me into MMA. So, you know, Tito's what got me. So, yeah, Huntington Beach bad boy. So, like, when Jones came around, I was just like, you know what? I really didn't like him because he had, like, it was just like how Rashad Evans said, he had that fake, like, holier than thou. I was just like, he's not really like that. Why is he acting? I'm like, I know he's not like that. And then, you know, when stuff started coming out, you know, he ran into a car, crashed his Bentley with like 2 females in it. And so I was just like, you know, and I was just like, all right, this is that real dude. I'm like, well, if he started being himself, and then I'm like, okay.
I saw the real him and fell in love.
Yeah, I'm like, that's how real human being. But then that's how he really acting, right? But then when I saw him, I'm like, okay, this dude's really talented. I'm all 84 and a half inch reach. I'm like, really can't, you're not born with that. That's just genetics. He's the only one. And then, you know, 6'4", strong. They said he's like, you don't look at him like they say his punching power is not, you know, what he has, but his just like grappling strength is really strong.
He got old man strength.
DC. Yeah. You know, you saw what he did.
No, for real, the way he handled that man was like an old nigga. Get your motherfucking hands on me.
It was. You got brothers that's in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got one of them all pro, so it's just like with Chandler, I mean, and he even said that he was all, we had a dirty mat. If you watched it, he said we had like our dad built us like this dirty sponge mat, and we used to go down there and just wrestle all the time. He said they passed down his wrestling. I think it was Chandler passed down his wrestling shoes to John, and John just used those and he framed them. So,
So
you know,
John's
like
the
you said,
youngest.
I don't know if he's the youngest. No, I don't think he's the youngest. I just think, you know, he was probably, you know, the smallest. But I'm not sure. I gotta look how it went. But like you say, he got popped for PEDs. They had to move an entire pay-per-view when he fought Gustafson the second time from Vegas to was it California because he had a picogram of like steroids or something in his system.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, you know, okay. GSP, I mean, yeah, he lost to Matt Serra. He lost to Matt Hughes. He avenged both of those losses. Hughes twice, Serra. GSP also moved up and waiting for. He defended, I think he defended his belt 9 times. I mean, never got popped for anything. He actually even tried to get Olympic drug testing for his last fight against Johnny Hendricks before he fought Bisping. And, you know, he's always been an ultimate pro. Like, some of the, like, he was so talented. They said he was going to try out for the Olympic team for wrestling for Canada, and he never wrestled in his life. So,
yeah, the one thing I admired about GSP was GSP would always, he would talk shit to you in the most nicest way.
Exactly, that's what it was.
He never really disrespected you.
He was the nicest ass whooping person that's ever lived on this planet Earth.
Just like Zay,
leave you.
He's a sweetheart. It's like he beat your ass, and then you know he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I
take you to the hospital." Take you to the hospital, and they tell you why he had to beat your ass.
Yeah, and you just like, okay, you know, like I forget he said he had ran it like because he used to get
in a French accent
to his bully, and like his bully was scared, and his bully was like, he's like, I'm not going to hurt you, you know, it's okay, I understand why you did what you did. We can be friends. I was just like, geez, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So GSP is like, to me, he's the GOAT. But now you want to talk about just like combat athlete, you got to throw Henry Cejudo in there too, just because he won the gold medal in Olympic wrestling and won the belt in 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
And he's talking about trying to go up and fight, what's his name? Volkanovski.
Oh, he's trying to fight.
Oh, he's gonna fight, for one. But then he was to go up and fight Volkanovski too. So if he wins the belt in 3 divisions, plus he's an Olympic, I mean, that's like one of the greatest combat athletes.
Well, see, the thing is that I can't put, even though like I can't put Cejudo over DJ. Like I think a lot of people.
Of course, yeah.
A
lot of people. I mean, a lot of people forget about him.
Yeah, they forget about Demetrius Johnson.
I know that name. Hey,
yeah,
you got hands.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the game.
Yeah,
it's the game, right? Yeah.
Oh shit! Hit the quiet on them niggas.
Yeah, so a lot of people kind of forget about him as well.
Yeah.
But that is like my top 3. You know that I have.
Yeah. But don't get a mistake. I'm not going. John Jones is amazing. I mean, you look at the dudes he's knocked off. Daniel Cormier, finished him. Who else? Machida. That was like the nastiest submission ever. Besides the one last week where old dude had jodied him, little Russian dude. I forgot, was it Jared Neal? He had choked, gave him the rear naked choke, and Jared Neal was just like, he tweeted. He said, "I know he ain't just baby boy me." But when John Jones had choked out Machida and just let him go and walked off, I was like, that's cold. I'm like, that. Who else? Rampage Jackson. I mean, John Jones is the man. He's the man. And I just think right now with the heavyweight division, I ain't going to take up too much more time. With the heavyweight division right now, he's going to run through Stipe. Like, Stipe is tailor-made for him. Stipe is 40 years old. If you look at really Stipe, he could have been a light heavyweight because he was small. Mm-hmm. So, and I think Stipe is tailor-made. And there's really no one else. I mean, Ngannou was the guy he was supposed to fight. That was supposed to get to test him. But there's really no one else for Jones to fight, which I think is kind of another feather in the cap for GSP being the GOAT, because the heavyweight division, like besides it was Francis and Stipe, and then I mean I knew he was going to be gone. It's kind of weak. So that's why I'm just like, I figured he was going to do that to Gon. I'm like, he's going to do it. You know, he's going to take him down and he's going to strangle him. After that, there's really no one else after Stipe. But hey, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to keep listening. Once again, love the show. And I know y'all about to talk about Ja later on. So
hey, we're going to be on it. Hey, Ghost, you already know. Hey, you got the link. For those that see, Ghost got the link. He tapped in. If you ever want to tap in with us, then you can always go to bit.ly/sports sushi, no spaces. Again, that's bit.ly/sports sushi, no spaces. And if you're watching right now, be sure to hit that link. Subscribe, Ghost. Love you. Thank you. You know I'm going to fuck with you.
Bro.
And,
hey. Boys, take care, man.
All right. Appreciate you, Ghost.
Money, cars, clothes, and all of those. All right,
man. But yeah, man, that was Ghost, man, a long time listener of the show. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up with the MMA talk. We're gonna move ahead. If you've been tuning in, we've been doing our draft spotlights leading up to the draft with our two draft experts here. We got Sterling Furlow and Sports Plug Russ. This week we'll be doing linebackers. So I will defer it to you two guys. So you guys take it away, baby.
So you already know. This one's for the man in the middle. You already know what I'm talking about. So we got the linebackers. Sterling was gracious enough because he does all the studying and everything like that. I mean, I do too. But Sterling does a great job of giving us a good top five, even though sometimes I don't agree. But now it's not our time to. I mean, you know, we gonna go back and forth. But I would have had the same 5 guys. So I will tell you that. Did not need to add a 6th. I think this is a very crisp, nice list. I think we're just gonna get into a discussion about probably the first 3 guys, 1 through 3. Even though all of them are really good. So let's start with number 5. Number 5 is Daiyan Henley. Daiyan Henley is a linebacker from Washington State. He actually, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, of course, guys, they are put on the GPA because, you know, you got to go to class to see if your ass passed. And so he did have an average of 128%, which is really, really good. Second highest on the board, super athlete. If you see him, C-Ball, Get Ball is his name. He got an A+. He had a 4.0. Now, here's his stats. He blew me out the water. Solo tackles of 54. That lets you know that he was C-Ball, Get Ball. He's trying to beat her every time the ball is snapped. Assisted tackles, he had 52, which means he does not give a fuck if he's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth guy to the ball. He's going to go to the ball and try to get to the ball. He had 12 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He did have 3 passes deflected, which to me, when I look at this and when you look at watching him on film, you can kind of see that, okay, if I need to, I can put this guy in coverage. Sterling will go a little bit more into that as you know, as we go forward. Now next up, we did have Noah Sewell. Now he's related to Penny Sewell, little brother, correct? Mm-hmm. No, just make sure like you someone says it's guy said no, it's his little brother, people. Now to me, he's gonna be the one guy that we look at. He did not grade out well at all. He didn't even average a letter grade, but this is where this test, as I always tell people, when you look at the GPA, this can tell you where you can look at stats and they might not always tell the full truth, because when you look at this kid, all you see is the Hulk. Square business, especially when he wears that green Oregon jersey. But he only had 24 solo tackles, 23 assisted tackles. He only had 5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. And he had 4 passes defended, though. So that lets me know that he will get in coverage. But that a little bit of a low ceiling. Now, as far as the next guy up, I was just going to do all 5, and then we can go through all 5 after Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I think I switched it up a little bit.
Oh, you good?
And so we got the next one is actually this guy is not to me the best, but he might be my favorite. It's Tua Henry. Now Tua Henry went to Alabama. He averaged out a 105%. He got an A+ as well. Now he had a 4.0, blah, blah. Now his solo tackles, he had 45 solo tackles, 49 of them were assisted. He had 5 tackles for a loss. 8 tackles for a loss and 2.5 sacks. Now, he didn't have any interceptions, any forced fumbles, any passes defended. But what I liked about him is consistency. That's the one word that came to mind with me for him. Before I let Sterling dive into all these guys, we got Trenton Simpson was number 2 on the list. Now, Trenton Simpson, to me, is my number 1. I really liked him just because he had, to me, a lot like another Clemson guy, Isaiah Simmons. Just put him on the fucking field. Athlete. He had a B, though. He averaged out with a B 3.0. He had 41 tackles, 31 solo tackles, 4 tackles for a loss. He did have 2.5 sacks as well. No interceptions, but he did have 2 forced fumbles. He defended 3 passes. And so there's his stats, a B, as I said. Now, next we have Drew Sanders. He had 136. He graded out the highest, 135 score overall. Again, the highest, A+. In comparison, second place is 127. 40 solo tackles, 63 assisted tackles. This man was everywhere. 13 tackles for a loss, 13.5 for a loss, 9.5 sacks, 1 interception, 3 forced fumbles, 5 passes defended. Sterling, I will let you release and go in on all 5 of these guys and tell America you can start 5 through 1, 1 through 5. Just let us know.
Yeah, let's go 5 through 1. And a guy that, so between Daiyan and Henley, I wanted to put Jack Campbell in here from Iowa, but I think Henley and Campbell, they're 5A, 5B, but for tonight's sake of time, we'll go with Henley tonight. But I mean, this dude, he's a former wide receiver and linebacker, so you see his ball skills on film. I think he's a very instinctual linebacker. He's not just a see ball, get ball, but he approaches the game with intelligence as well. Like I said, he has great ball skills. I think his ability to trigger downhill, and be used in different sets as a linebacker is intriguing. Just because of his, again, he had he played a little man's position at wide receiver and cornerback. So he possesses a lot of those movement skills. You can kind of tell when you watch him on film. He's an intriguing prospect. He's 6'2", 230 pounds. He's got good speed. Like I said, he's a good athlete as well. I think he's not a guy that's going to fight through the mud, like in terms of how he engages with offensive linemen on the move. Those aren't his strong suits. He's going to have to get better there at the next level. But I do think this is a guy that he's going to be a day 2 option, probably in the second and third round, probably more likely the third round. But he's definitely one of those guys where you get him in the right system and you could develop him.
He's gymish.
Yeah,
he's very close to the gym side. When I was watching him, though, that just it sprung out to me. I was like, yo, this guy is like fluid as hell. Like he like belongs on the 100. Like he belongs on the football field. Like he knows what's up out there. It was pretty cool.
And sometimes when you evaluate linebacker play, there's this thing that they use, this term called false steps. And he doesn't have false steps. Like I said, he's very instinctual. I do think he can improve when it comes to play diagnosis and recognition, but when he knows his assignment and he can sniff out what the defense is doing, he's right there. He wastes no time of triggering downhill. So that's one of the good things. I think he's a bit of a smaller linebacker at 6'2". You want to see him a little bit taller than that. And again, he's not going to be your stack linebacker to be able to shed an offensive lineman and go find somebody. But I really do think he's an intriguing option. So that's why I have him at the number 5. A
gadget backer.
Yeah, I mean,
like we had gadget running backs. He's like a gadget backer. But go ahead, my bad.
Ideally, if you want to put him in on third downs, just for his pass instincts alone, I think that's great. But I think you can get more out of him than that. So he definitely needs to do better at in the run game. But I think he's a guy you could build with. Up next, we got Noah Sewell. He had a disappointing season, if you ask me. Prior to this season, he was a lot of people's number 1 linebacker recruit, or prospect. I think he's as a defender, he he's aggressive, right? You want to see your linebackers who are aggressive. They can play in the box. You know, he's strong. You know that he's Samoan. These dudes are really strong. So he can defeat blocks, right? He's a guy that can get in the linebacker. I mean, get in the offensive lineman and get him out the way. You know, because he's able to use that strength by displacing blockers, and he can locate the ball. So this is another guy that's very instinctual. He has NFL bloodlines, as we know. His brother is the offensive tackle for the Detroit Lions. I think he does well in zone coverage. You know, he has really good eye discipline, and he can get proper depth in zones. You know, I would say reasons to like, he's 6'2". He's not, so again, he's not tall. He's bigger though, so he's got some meat on
but
his
physically
bones.
he's fine. You know, you don't look at him and say he's slight. Now you look at him and say 2 more inches higher, he'd be a monster.
Yeah,
he had 2 more inches. If he's 6'4", you'd be like, damn, like, you know. But I like his size. Pause.
Yeah, no, you know, the thing about Sewell is you can use him in a lot of ways. I mean, he excels in coverage. He can play a little man coverage on tight ends and stuff like that. So, you know, he's a guy that I think could be productive at the next level. He plays with a hot motor, like his hair is on fire all the time, man. He has pass rush ability. So, like, if you're a team that likes to use linebackers to rush the A gap, this is a guy that you should be looking at because he can get that stuff done. So, I like him as a prospect. I expect him to go. I think he's another day 2 option. You know, I think he goes second round though. You know, I don't think he's going to go first round, but I think he's a hell of a prospect. And then we got Henry To'oTo'o. This is another dude. I mean, he transferred from the University.
Wait, so it's Henry To'oTo'o. Okay, so I need to know because I've heard it both ways. I've watched film and I've watched people say To'oTo'o Henry, and I watch people say Henry To'oTo'o, and I've seen it like equal amounts.
So, what I've been told that it's Henry To'oTo'o.
Okay, To'oTo'o. Okay.
Tomato. I don't give a shit what this nigga's name is. No,
Can you play football? No.
Yeah, this dude, he's good, man.
Yeah.
This guy, you know, he's another 6'2" linebacker. You know, he started off at Tennessee, and then he decided that it was better for him to go to a place like Alabama.
How has Tennessee not been to a playoff? That's a whole episode. We could do a 30 for 30 on Tennessee football. But yeah. Go ahead. To'oTo'o.
Yeah, so I think he's one of the smarter linebackers in this draft class. You know, he doesn't win with athleticism, he wins with smarts. I'm not saying he is this, but in terms of his mental makeup, like Brian Urlacher, very smart, intuitive linebacker like him. And he's a really good tackler. This is not a guy, he understands leverage, he understands angles. You know, and he can move laterally too. So he's got decent speed. I don't think that he's a guy that displays like great ball skills, but he's going to be in the right position to make plays, right? You know, I think this is a guy that you can make him your Mike linebacker in a 4-3. I think he'd be best served there. You know, he can play will linebacker or in the slot if you absolutely need him to. In certain packages, he could do that. Again, I don't feel like he has the foot speed to keep up with some of these guys, but he makes up for that with lateral quickness and closing speed. You know, I do feel like, you know, if you're looking for a linebacker, again, with instincts, you know, I think he's your guy. You know, he's not gonna miss a lot of tackles. This dude is on the ball, see ball, get ball, and I got you. And he moves well laterally. I do think he needs to improve when defending the run. I feel like at times he has false steps, and he's not necessarily. He needs to trust his eyes. He's not sure what he's seeing, right? You know, getting off of blocks, I feel like is an issue for him. So those are a few things that he should improve at the next level. And he's a smaller linebacker, so like he's a polar opposite of Sewell, who is 6'2", 253, whereas he's 6'2" and about 228, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the speed to play safety, but he has the instincts to play linebacker, if that makes sense.
you know who I thought of? Like literally when I was thinking of like watching him play, and I was watching how like he's like robotic and kind of smart and consistent as hell. Teddy Bruschi. Now he's about 20 pounds lighter, but like he looked like a guy that like he's not overwhelmingly athletic. He's not the fastest, but he's not gonna get burnt. He can keep up. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he the best athlete? Nah, but he can keep up with everybody else. So like, put him out there, and he's smart. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what he can. Like when I saw him, I was like, he reminded me a lot of like a Teddy Bruschi type. Like he's not gonna pop out like whoa, but he's never gonna fuck up. Like you're never gonna see him just make a mistake that makes you go, oh come on, man. He's always gonna like play his gaps. He's always gonna fill him up. He's always gonna play his man. He's gonna make the right read. Now he may not just completely blow a play up. You know what I'm saying? But like he's not gonna jump out the baby. But if you're looking for like your classic. I'm saying he might be one of the better pros because I think he's going to be super consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're wrong there, man. I feel like he's one of those guys. He doesn't have the competitiveness that like Teddy Bruschi had. Like Teddy Bruschi was he didn't have the physical ability nor the speed, but he played with so much heart and he was smart and instinctive. So that's a great comp, man. I love that. Next up, these next two guys they're good, man. They're really good. They're different.
Creature baby alert. Baby alert.
Trenton Simpson.
I had to.
So I wrote an article this past that posted today about the Bills, having to replace Tremaine Edmonds. Trenton Simpson was the guy that I pegged for the Bills, potentially one of three players that I tagged to go to the Bills in round one. Trenton Simpson is that guy. This is a dude that he has taken snaps at safety. He can rush the passer. He's dynamic in coverage. He's got good ball skills. Like anything that you need him to do on defense, they asked him to do it at Clemson. I mean, he played all over the field. He's kind of positionless, just kind of like Isaiah Simmons, but I think he's more refined and polished as a player. I think, if whoever drafts him can just say, hey, dude, you're going to play linebacker, and I'm going to use you as a matchup defender on key certain third downs in terms of if we're playing against a team like with a really good tight end like Kansas City. You might be asked to do a few different things on Travis Kelce. He's
Atlanta, Pitts.
Yeah, he's a matchup nightmare. So, this is a guy, in my opinion, that, again, he's very extremely versatile. You can put him in many different packages. I feel like he's a guy that sniffs out. He's really good against the run. I feel like he can sniff out the run. He could play in zone and in man coverage. And I think he's a game breaker, man. He's such an impressive athlete. He ran a 4.39 at the combine, I believe, or 4.41 or something crazy like that. He
ran wide receiver numbers.
Yeah, he's really just that good. And the thing is like, you see guys like this that are just extremely gifted athletes, but he's a guy that like can finish a tackle. Like he will light you up. He's a good hitter too. So it's like, damn,
football player.
Where was the production last year at Clemson? So, well, Brent Venable, he left. I think that really hurt him.
And that's it. And I was gonna say, as an Oklahoma fan and someone that's watched Brent Venables many a times, I think he just wants athletes, and you can tell this by Simmons. You can tell this by my bad. Simpson. I almost said Sanders. You can tell that by Simpson now. You can even tell that by a guy that plays for the Dallas Cowboys and Javon Curse. Like, so there's like a lot of these guys that come from Clemson. He likes to have these. What I say is, at some point in football, everybody, the Roy Williams of the world, Roy Williams from Oklahoma, those type guys ended up having to play linebacker. And for the longest, they were like in this purgatory. Brent Venables found a place for him because Isaiah Simmons is that type of guy. Simpson's that type of guy. Like I said, Curse is that type of guy. And like you said, he was in no man's land. But when you watch him, like there was a couple plays I saw, one in particular, like I saw him do like a looping. It was like a looping stunt, but he didn't just go over I guess he didn't just go over the tackle. He went over the whole offensive line formation and blew up an option. He cleared 9-10 yards of space between each hash and then blew up the play. So yeah, his athleticism sparks off the page. It shows.
Yeah, man. He stands at 6'3", 235. I think he's a guy that for a team like the Bills, I think he'd be perfect. Filling for Tremaine Edmonds. I do think though that a team, whoever drafts him, you can get him to play a more traditional style. I think, when you're a jack of all trades, right, you don't master anything. So because Clemson had him doing so many different things, I feel like there needs to be some more development and refinement in there. So I think he's a guy that can definitely come in and be a star in this league, to be honest. But he's not even the best linebacker that's on this list, man. Shall we get to him?
According to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Look,
man. The next cat, go ahead. Yeah, no, he's nasty. The next cat's nasty.
Listen, Drew Sanders, okay? If y'all don't know who this cat is, y'all better look him up. This is a 6'5", 230 some odd pound, linebacker, man. He played in his career, okay? Quarterback, tight end, wide receiver. I mean, so when you watch him on tape, you see those kind of traits, okay? He looks like a dude. He is a freaking force of nature. And he plays with such tenacity, man.
Bro,
when you watch him, when he gets his landmarks, I'm telling you, man, he is the best linebacker in this league. I do think that he can rush off the edge. I think his athleticism is really good. I feel like, he's good at recognizing plays, like play action and knowing kind of what's going on. And then he'll, one of the things I love about him is that he can trigger and get there with ball carriers at the line really fast. He triggers downhill and the guy can hit. He has great length. His arms, his catch radius.
He built like a power forward.
Yeah, man,
bro.
And I don't even think he's at his best yet. That's the crazy thing about it.
I got another Russ player comp for you.
Okay.
And this is just when I first saw him. I was watching some film and I saw him from the back view, and he was making a play, and I said, he looks like a taller version of Sean Lee.
I forgot how good Sean Lee was, man.
And the reason why I said that was because if you're a Cowboys fan, of course you saw a lot of them. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I saw a whole lot of them. But it wasn't just the fact that Sean Lee was smart and all this other shit. Is that his body type looked more athletic than any other linebackers that you saw playing. And on top of this, he was fluid as hell, and he had that tenacity you talk about. And then in this same play, I think it was against Mississippi State or Texas A&M. He throws the offensive lineman, just boom, swims him off, bang. Now I do think he could work on his tackling, but that's just because he's in college and that's just his frame. His frame's gonna need to get a little bit more built on it. But dude's a monster. So him at being number one, I can't hate you. I like Simpson more, but nah, Drew Sanders is a fucking animal.
Yeah,
an athlete.
He's not going to come in and play Mike linebacker. That's the thing, I think, like I said, he's a good athlete, but he's not an exceptional athlete like the guy we just talked about. He has rare athletic traits. I think the way he moves laterally is very impressive, and I think he's going to give you some really good reps on third down. I think he needs to be a little stronger. I think, for his size and frame, he doesn't always play with that strength that you like to see, especially when he's trying to disengage blocks from offensive linemen. That's kind of been a theme with the linebackers we mentioned today about disengaging and getting these guys, the offensive linemen's hands off of you. But again, if you're looking for a size traits guy, Drew Sanders is your dude.
All right. So that was our top 5 for our linebacker draft spotlight for this week of Sports Sushi. Russ, could you take us to our our next segment. It is either or, if I'm not mistaken.
Do the dance, Boogie. Do the dance. Do the dance. Do the dance. Sterling, do the dance. Put that shit on. It is time for the motherfucking either or. And you know what I'm talking about? Let me get myself the horns for the either or. Yeah, bitches. Either or, either or. So basically what we got here is I got an either or today. Today I like to fuck with your minds a little bit. This is what I like to say. What you see on paper, what you saw in real life. Let's mix that shit together and let's do an either or fight. We got Patrick Willis or Brian Urlacher. What you guys got?
Oh, can I? Who you got, Boogie?
Well, before I start, do y'all want me to go through like the years played and stats? Because you know that's the story. Or...
Nah, we don't. I don't need all that.
Fuck it then. Shit, jump in.
Patrick Willis, and it's not even close.
Thank you.
Look, man, Patrick Willis was one of the first linebackers that we saw that like. Yo, all the athletic stuff that we talk about for these young cats, Patrick Willis was a guy that brought it to the table every single game. He was the unquestioned heartbeat of that San Francisco 49ers team. He was a playmaker. He was great in pass coverage, and he will light your ass up. I mean, Patrick Willis is one of the best linebackers I think I've ever seen, Mike linebackers that I've ever seen in my life. Now, I think he had better athletic traits than Ray Lewis. But the problem with Patrick Willis is injuries. He didn't play that long, right? But Patrick Willis, man, he was one of my favorite linebackers, dude. He's that special.
All right, so Chris says overall Willis, but Urlacher had more splash plays. Ghost says Willis, but you don't respect Urlacher. Kuechly 1.0. I mean, look.
Kuechly's another day.
Yeah, Kuechly is. Look,
that's another. That's a different human ghost. We're gonna leave Kuechly out. This is about Willis and Urlacher.
Yes. Let's just keep the scope very narrow here. Focused. I think overall, I still got to go with P. Will, man. Patrick Willis. They both, You said what?
Oh, I said, sweet.
Yeah. I got to go with Patrick Willis.
Everybody. That's a sports sushi. We got to sweep.
I don't think and there's no disrespect to Urlacher, man, but at all, but by no means is just I like Urlacher would definitely pick it, but so will P. Will. Like P. Will would take that bitch and house that hoe, him and the ball, with they bitch.
Bro, that whole front seven. No, I got Patrick Willis too, but I did want to as I always do. I like to give the stats and everything like that, so I'm gonna do that before we move forward. Now I know that most people are gonna say, "God damn!" So you all heard our choice. We chose Patrick Willis. What you see matters. Brian Urlacher was awesome too. Now Patrick Willis only played 7 years in the league, and Brian Urlacher played 12. So keep that in mind when you hear these, because it is. You know what I'm saying? So Brian, and I gotta give Brian Urlacher his flowers too. So Brian Urlacher did have over 1,000 tackles, 1,046 to be exact, 315 assisted. He had 24 QB hits. He had 138 tackles for loss, 41 and a half sacks, 11 forced fumbles, 16 fumble recoveries, and 2 TDs, 22 interceptions, and 2 TDs off those interceptions. Godlike stats, Hall of Fame numbers. Shout out to that man and his numbers. Now, Patrick Willis in 7 years of competition accumulated 700 again in 7 years of competition. He in the NFL, he accumulated only seven. He accumulated 733 tackles solo, 217 tackles assisted. Just to let you guys know, he had only 100 less assisted tackles than a man that played 4 more years than him, and at an all-pro level. He had 41 QB hits. That was double the amount that Urlacher had at 24. Again, he played more than half the amount of time this man played. Less than half the amount of time this man played. Let me see. We had 16 forced fumbles. Again, he had more forced fumbles than Brian Urlacher. He had 20 sacks, half the amount in about half the time. He did have 60 tackles for a loss, Brian Urlacher, you have 138. Can't fuck with you on that one, my bro. It's like 70 more. It is 70 more. Then we had 3 forced fumbles. I'm sorry. 16 forced fumbles. We had 0 TDs off of fumbles, but interesting stat. Patrick Willis did have 8 INTs with 2 of them for a touchdown. So there you have their stats. There you have it. If you pick Brian Urlacher, let us know. Put it in the comments. We ain't gonna hate on you. It's a great pick. We would just like to know why, because this is a landslide on this side. You know what I'm saying? I'm a poet, but I don't even know it. But sometimes I like to show it. It happens. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, you can quote it. But that's the either or for today. So everybody with us one more time. You got that either or. But at the end of the day, life is about choices. So make a choice, nigga. But you know what I'm saying? That's either or. Make it pick. Right. Put it in the comments. Hit that like, subscribe, and let's continue.
All right. So we're gonna go over to the NFL now. So the NFL Combine started getting underway. We have some guys that fucking blew us away. Some guys that underwhelmed. But let's get into these 40 times, because that seems to be kind of. Well, really, let's just start with Anthony Richardson. I was going to start right there. Anthony Richardson had with Anthony Richardson, AR-15.
Oh, yes.
Apparently,
hey, Sterling. We're still here, nigga.
Yeah. Apparently, they're saying he is going to be the number 1 guy taken off the board.
How about that?
Yeah. I'm not sold. Me personally, I'm not.
I don't know about that. He's my favorite, but I didn't say I'd take him first.
Yeah, I've
had a revelation after this weekend and watching a little bit more stuff. I've had a little bit of a coming to CJ moment, I guess, if you will. We'll talk about it. But go ahead. Anthony Richards showed the fuck out. 4.44.
Yeah. He ran a 4.4. They said that his test numbers were great. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and defer to Sterling, because this is his field of expertise.
Yes, sir. I want to say, just let Sterling tell us about Anthony Richardson.
You want me to talk about Anthony Richardson?
Yeah, man.
We can go whatever. I guess we can start with him.
I totally.
Let's start with Richardson.
You got a bag of goodies, nigga. We just want you to just start throwing candy to the people.
So,
make it rain.
Listen, I'm a big fan of what he was able to do at the Combine, and the fact that he ran a 4.4. I think he had a 40-inch vertical as well.
Yes.
He blew the water. He blew everything out of the water in terms of physical measurables and athletic traits and ability. I just think that, albeit he can be a good quarterback, I feel like he is just not a guy that you should expect to come in right now and be successful unless you have the right infrastructure in place, meaning your head coach is it could be offensive minded, or at least be with the guy, a really good offensive coordinator that really put him in situations to be successful. I think he has one of the strongest arms in this draft. You saw what he did. He threw it from the 9 and it hit to the 30 with ease, like with a flick of the wrist. So we know the arm strength is there. Again, he's one of those guys that you have to account for every blade of grass when he's on the field, because he can throw it. Now, it's just a matter of time to where he develops that consistency. I think for him, it stems with mechanics. So, but with what he did at the Combine, I think, he's going to go top 10 probably. Again, I don't see him going past 12 or 13. But, look for teams like the Raiders to be, looking at him.
Can't wait till I mock. I can't wait till I mock. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, man. So he was a guy that stood out to me. I think that we should look at some of the wide receivers in this class. I'm not a big fan of the Combine just because people put so much stock and emphasis on 40 times what these guys do in these drills, right? And keep in mind that these are drills that these players train for in these drills, okay? But some of the things that you should keep an eye on when it comes to like wide receivers is like 3-cone drills. Like Jackson Smith and Jigba, although he didn't run the 40, but what he did in those agility drills was phenomenal. A guy like Jordan Addison didn't wow anybody with his 40 time. There is like street speed right? And play speed, right?
Yep.
Like your play speed matters. Like here's a case in point where I'll bring this to light. A guy like Devin Hester wasn't a burner. Like if you had him run a 40, I don't think he run 4.45, which is not a burner.
Yes.
But when you put him on the field, it's like
Nobody's
the dude
faster.
ran a 4.2. It's just different. And so I think people kind of put so much emphasis on these 40 times and all these measurables. But at the end of the day, you're just playing football. And if you can do that, if you can play football, it don't matter. How many guys do we really look at and be like, well, what was that nigga 40 time though? When they're in the league and doing their thing, right? We really just don't. I think for offensive linemen, defensive linemen, bench press reps are important because a lot of what they do has to do with strength. But I really do like Zay Flowers. You know, Zay Flowers is a guy that I've been really high on. It's from a wide receiver
Boston College,
standpoint.
right?
Boston College, man.
Yeah.
I think he did really well. Quentin Johnson. No love.
I was gonna say, you said, man, Marvin Mims showed.
Oh no, I was going to get to him.
I was gonna say that was my. Hey, man.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson was supposed to be 6'4", right? But he came in at 6'2.5". I don't think anybody really cares about what his height is. But the way he high points a ball and his leaping ability, he had a vertical over 40 inches as well. So it doesn't matter if you're 6'2" or 6'4", with those athletic traits.
That's crazy though to get that mixed up though.
Yeah,
6'2" to 6'4".
But teams do it all the time, all the time, right? They that's exactly what they do. You know, Bryce Young came in at like 5'11", which they thought that he's listed at 6'6'1", right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna see stuff like that all the time, and it is what they do. But Marvin Mims is a guy. He's a 3-level threat at wide receiver. He could get it short.
Thank you.
He could get it intermediate, and he can go get it deep. You know, he's a guy, because of OU had a down year, I feel like, you know, teams slept on him, but he's a bona fide dog. He's probably going to get drafted in the second round, as high as the second round, probably mid second round. I think he doesn't go anywhere past the third round. Marvin Mims really solidified himself as one of the better receivers in this class. And if you really want to, like, you know, kind of go shot for shot, I mean, I would even be okay with taking him over Josh Downs out of North Carolina. I just feel
Thank you. I'm just saying, I wasn't the only one, but I was one of them. You know, I've watched the kid play. You know, he's a football player, but I saw he had in-game speed, but me seeing him run a 4.38 let me know that, like you said, like, oh, he trained for the drill too. Like, because you know when he gets in the game, he gonna move that fast or faster than that.
I didn't even care about his 40 time. I wanted to see what did he look like in the gauntlet, right? He looked like he had soft hands there. So what you saw on film is what you saw at the combine, and you want those two to match up, right? Yeah. You don't want outliers that, like, oh my God, look at this, how this guy tested, but you look at his film and he ain't done nothing. But True. Marvin Mims actually checked out. So I think he's going to climb up draft boards. I don't think he goes round 1, which he could be better than some of these round 1 guys. Like I said, I feel like his game is probably he has one of the more well-rounded games of any wide receiver in this class. Like he does everything just good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
He's a jack of all trades.
He is.
I was just gonna say it's very interesting because as a fan, like I knew he had the gauntlet hands because I watched a lot of Oklahoma games. But what I wanted to see him do was show that like y'all really got him fucked up, not talking about him as one of the fastest receivers in the draft. And so when he ran it, I was like, thank you, point proven. Because you're right, like the 40 time to me, I really think they should run a 40 with a football in their hand. Me personally, I think that's how they should have to run it. Or either really, I think. If y'all, it's Sports Sushi, so let me tell you my thought. I really think that they should, because we're going to get into what we think about the combine anyways, because we got these old linemen coming up. I think that wide receivers should have to catch a pass, and then once they catch the pass and make a football move, start timing their 40. I think that running back should have to take a handoff and then time their 40 after they take the handoff, ball in hand. I think DB should have to run a 40 out of their back pedal. Like that should have to shuffle out and then turn and run it out of that. And they don't have to call it a 40. They could call it just the DB 40. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that linebackers should have to run it in their stance. Like you stand in the linebacker stance. I think they should have to explode out of that stance and run their 40. And wide receivers are the only ones I think you could put in the track stance, but I think they should have to stand straight up like they would on the line. But I think they should make those kind of changes to the 40. But leading into, I guess, our next topic, which is the old lineman, unless y'all had any other guys. Oh, Cedric Tillman, I wish you would have ran faster, but I still have high hopes. And Jalen Hyatt, 4.4 is really good, but when you're touted as a burner, it does not do good for your draft stock when things like that happen. But that's I'm a 40 guy just because it's fun to me, and because everything else in the combine to me is fun. I get what I want off of film. Like if you could play, I'm gonna see it when I watch you play football. So I enjoy the combine for what it's for the events that I find the most fun. But as far as offensive linemen, Boogie, you can kick us off. And what's our next topic?
Are we talking offensive linemen in the combine?
Yes.
Okay, so Andrew Voorhees is a guy who tore his ACL at the combine, but he put up 38 reps on the bench press, which is really good. He's not going to be able to play this coming season, but I think he's a guy that now, a guy that I had pegged probably in the third round, third round, now is probably going to get drafted in the fourth or fifth round. So someone who's willing to take a flyer on him and can rehab him properly is going to get a really good starting level guard. I think some notables here, Peter Skoronski, he had 30 reps on the bench press. Cody Mock is a guy who had 29 reps. Also, Oluwatimi, Remington Award winner from Michigan, also had 29 reps. Someone who you want to – it's like he did not have a great combine was Osiris Torrance. He came in with only 23 reps on the bench press. You would want him – someone that size, you would want him to, really –
try harder.
It's something. I don't know what it is, but you expect a little more. The 20-yard shuttle is a good measurement for these guys. Some notable standouts: Cody Mock, the dude with no teeth in the front. He just looks crazy out of North Dakota State. I believe it was 4.55 for him. Tyler Steen showed well here. Luke Weichler, if you're looking for a guard center out of Ohio State, looked good. And then, if you want to talk three-cone drill, which is my favorite, Cody Mock again stood out here. Him and John Gaines a second. John Gaines is going to go as a day 3 option, but Cody Mock stood out here with the 7.33. And then if you want to talk about a guy that
Cody Mock was he either going to do football or it's meth. That's what's coming next. Cody Mock, he ain't got no 2 foot teeth, boogie. He killing it because he need to.
Yeah.
That man got 2 choices. It's football or the other way.
It's football and men. Let's be real.
And his teeth. If you don't get a chance, go look up Mr. Mock. Yeah, he looks like Santa Claus's son with red hair that he just didn't fair to launch.
He could be a hockey player. You know those hockey players.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, hockey player. He got the rosy cheeks.
Yeah, speaking of hockey, I seen JJ Watt on the ice. I was like, yeah, that's a guy I don't want to fuck with.
Let's get back.
Let's get back on.
Because the main topic you had for the
So Blake Freeland is an offensive tackle that I think will go day 3. But this dude's vertical was a 37 inches, white boy, 37-inch vertical as an offensive lineman. I thought that was pretty dope. So those are some of the guys that I had pegged. From pure 40-yard dash that really doesn't matter for offensive linemen. Yes. You could talk about Broderick Jones, Boogie. That's your guy with the 4.97, and we all knew that he was going to be the best athletically gifted offensive lineman in this class, and he showed that. So I think he solidified his take as a top 15 overall selection.
A 40 time for an O-line is about as useful as just it's not useful as a third asshole. You don't need it. It serves no purpose.
I just don't know why. And I know the guy tore his ACL, and I hate that for him. And I don't know why they have them doing this. There's other drills that matter more. And I just don't know why they knowingly. This is one thing about the football. I guess football a lot. How they knowingly do things that you just know, like you have the solution. Like you can do something else. Just don't have them run 40s. Don't have them do these live one-on-ones without pads. Like there's nothing really for that except for people to see two big-ass humans fight against each other.
And it's like, in what game scenario are you going to have your lineman running 40 yards hard for? It's like
you're not.
I
would actually have a drill where I had a dude with like one of them what's it called? One of them big ass brooms with the tennis ball at the end.
Yeah.
And had them niggas run and chase the tennis ball. I'm like, can you pull, nigga? Like you know what I'm saying? Can you pull? Hut nothing, run. Like you gotta come on, nigga. You gotta come block the tennis ball. And I want to see him shuffle his big ass out there and go get it. Like Trent Williams, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious though. There's a lot of you gotta, you know, if you're doing offensive lineman, you gotta get the hands, nigga, get the hands. If I was real talk, I'd have them niggas play one-on-one basketball.
Yeah.
I'd be like, cause hey, you niggas slide your feet. Yeah.
Why do you sound like Charleston White right now?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I don't want to sound anything like Charleston White. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna apologize.
He said, you know what?
He be making some points sometimes, but he be crazy.
No, Charleston man got a way of saying shit, dog. But
Fat Boogie, that's the best way of saying it.
He got a way.
You got a way of saying some shit.
But he right.
Yeah.
That dude's right.
Yeah, he be right.
Sometimes
I think he's getting a little out of hand.
Let's be careful about that R word. He has some points. I don't want to say the R word, but he has some points.
Yeah. He
niggas like that can't get too much power.
Yeah.
So it makes niggas drink. It'll make niggas drink Kool-Aid.
We'll have to do a show on him in the summer about Charleston White.
We got to do a show on a lot of things.
All right, so
nigga, the Life podcast needs to come.
All right, man. Look, we got our free agency segment coming up.
Yes, sir.
NFL free agency is underway. There's been some signings already. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not enthusiastic about a couple of these signings. I had to scoot up on this one. I ain't really too enthusiastic about it. But let's just go ahead. There's some rumors going around. Some guys that are might be on the move. Haven't yet been dealt yet. So let's start with Lamar Jackson, man. They just gave him the non-exclusive tag to where he can, seek other teams where the Ravens would be compensated if he were to sign or a chance to match the offer. What do you guys think is going to happen with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson? Chris, shut up. We don't want to hear what you guys say.
Oh, God.
We already know what you think, Chris.
Well, first of all, Chris needs to go see if he could trade for Lamar Jackson in our man league so he can stop all that crying he's doing with that quarterback he's got.
I have nothing to say.
Don't think I didn't hear what you said when we were playing, Chris. I heard everything. So just FYI. We're going to get to that later. But Lamar Jackson, he's a guy that why? So the last podcast I was on before this show, we talked about Lamar Jackson and this whole why are the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets talking about trading for Aaron Rodgers? If you're the Jets, why wouldn't you go get Lamar Jackson? What I don't understand. And then you got
collusion,
right? And then you have
you have them
reporting like 6 teams come out and say they're not interested. What?
It's so obvious.
You'll sign Geno Smith to a $100 million contract. You'll go sign Daniel Jones to a $100 million contract. But you mean to tell me there's no market for Lamar Jackson, who's out?
Let's people. A year ago, you motherfuckers was willing to give Deshaun Watson $250 million guaranteed, Atlanta, and you knew that he had all the allegations, Atlanta, and you still wanted him, Atlanta, and now you have a guy. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson. Do you have an MVP? No, you got a bunch of dirty towels and some secrets, and you got $250 million guaranteed, and my man Lamar can't get shit. Come on, cuz collusion. I'm gonna say collusion, and the weakest excuse I heard was, well, the owners don't want to sign an offer sheet and do the work for the Ravens. Motherfucker, it's pencil to paper. I'm gonna pay him this much. You gonna do it, nigga? No, okay, then he's my player. Like it's not this big. The NFL and NFL teams have a way of making their like what they're doing seem like the right way, and this should be the what you should think. And like when you really take a step back, you don't have to like a player or nothing. I was talking to someone today, and I just made him take a step back and say like everything that these teams put out here for the most part is bullshit. Like if you don't want Lamar Jackson, it's because he didn't play all of his games and you think he's gonna get hurt because he's a running quarterback. I respect that. Or you don't want to give up 2 first-round draft picks, which I can respect that too, because Caleb Williams is about to come out this bitch and he's better than all these niggas. And y'all heard me say it. I'm gonna say it again. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Williams is better than all these niggas. But no, I
shut up about Caleb Williams because we ain't talking about him yet.
I'm sorry, but when it comes up, it comes up. It's the truth, and if it's the truth, it's a fact, and if it's facts, I gotta spin it. I think that this Lamar Jackson thing is just getting to a point where we all know what it is. It's way too obvious, and I'm here like why are y'all going through this? You're going through a period where you have to deal with the fact that these contracts are going to change. If you don't want to give him $250, that's fine. And word on the street is he didn't say you had to give him $250. Y'all trying to give him $139. What the fuck are we doing? Kyler got $189. So someone's lying because they're saying we offered him more. Well, what was it? What was his high number? Because they saying that y'all offered them this low ass number at $139, right. And so I really think it's a mixed effort between the owners and the NFL. Trying to make sure that they keep agents around for what agents do, and I have love for all agents because everybody can't represent themselves. And if you ain't got Dawi, then I don't know what to tell you, my nigga. I'm sorry, but Dawi's the best. That's David Mulugeta. He's the best. He's the best that's out there. Jalen Ramsey's agent. You know what I'm saying? And you know when it comes to that money, he gonna make them dance. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't, if you don't need, if you can't get a guy like that, or there's a woman that does it too. And I'm sorry, I do not remember her name. Especially mad that I don't remember it on National Women's Day. But there's also a woman that does a lot of the African American men's agents. But if you can't get one of them and you do decide to represent yourself, you should be able to. And the NFL should not be able to do this. They're trying to make sure that nobody is able to get the money that they are worth on the open market because that ticket is high. But let me tell you guys, before I let Sterling go and Boogie go some more, I watch soccer. These niggas ain't paying the ticket. If you want to know how much it costs for a fucking superstar, you need to go watch how much these soccer players are getting paid. And so I get it. I really love it. And yes, Sherrod, you are right. If Lamar Jackson, I'm gonna tell you 100%. You have known you heard from Sushi. If you want to get the maximum dollar that you can get, call my nigga Dawi, call David Mulugeta, and he gonna make it happen because he gonna make them dance like Sambo's dance. Like so, you know what I'm saying? So but he can make it happen. And but if you don't want to, I don't want to be the guy that's like, don't get an agent. Like if you want to and go get an agent like that, go get a super agent. If you can't, then like do your thing. But these NFL teams can't block you out. Lamar, this is crazy. Atlanta, you need the Panthers. The Panthers are saying we out. Nigga out on what?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What? That's like the Virgin. That's like the Virgin saying, "I'm good on the train." What? You saving yourself for what? Who? What? What are you doing? Nah, nigga, come on. It's your time. Nah, man. I don't know, bro. It's I know, and I don't know. We know, but it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look. Lamar is got hit with the franchise. Aaron Rodgers is still kind of in the wind. The Jets are trying to court him heavy, but the Jets.
Oh, my bad. We forgot. It's our duty because someone asked me today to explain this, and so I said, Oh shit, people don't know what it is. So he got hit with the non-exclusive tag, people. So the non-exclusive tag means that a team is allowed to give him an offer sheet. If the offer sheet is something that Lamar Jackson likes, he's allowed to say, I like it. So, for example, let's go back. Rewind. My bad. So the exclusive franchise tag means that a team is allowed to offer him an offer sheet if Lamar Jackson likes it, and then he's able to send it off to the Ravens. If the Ravens think that they can match it or want to match it, they match it. He plays for the Ravens. If the Ravens don't want to match it, he plays for said team. Example: if the Houston Texans were to say, "Hey man, we're going to give you $200 million guaranteed," and yada yada yada, you like this contract? Lamar said, "I like it. I want to be a Houston Texan." The Ravens have the opportunity to say no. We think that contract is cool. It's substantial. We'll do it. They can sign it, or they can say, fuck that, pack your bags. You go into the H-Town, and you go sip and serve. Southwest Lee Texas, stand up. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm talking about? But
yeah.
that's about it. I just wanted to explain it because someone asked me today, and I realized that some people don't know the difference between the two tags. Of course, the exclusive franchise tag means, nigga, you're Tony Pollard. We tagged you, and we gonna get paid. What is it, top 5%?
Yes.
Yeah, top 5% in the league. You're gonna get a bag, but it's not gonna be what you would have got in the open market because, of course, in the open market,
people are just and all these other things in your contract. Kind of straight up, like this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's get into the other guy that got signed. Goddamn, fucking Derek Carr.
Oh wow! The fact that you're already negative about
bro, he's mad. Hates the fact that it's going down, and I happen to. I'm on the total opposite side. So tell me your reasons, Boogie.
It's mid. All right.
It ain't mid though. It ain't mid though.
It's super mid.
What you expect?
Right? It's not mid.
What do you expect?
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, Boogie, let me ask you a question.
Let me just say this. All right, look.
No, can I ask you a question real quick? I mean, because I want to put this in perspective before you get into the Saints of it all, because you got facts and I just got jokes. So let me get this off my chest real quick. Mm-hmm. So Boogie, if I was to take you to a crib, right, and they was to have all the OG kush that you can see, the best of the best, right? But they said you can't roll not a blunt. But the person they had rolling it was terrible. Like every blunt had holes in it. It was horrible. You couldn't get a smoke off, right? You say it was mid, right? The weed's not mid. The Oakland Raiders was mid. It wasn't his fault that Henry Ruggs got into trouble. It wasn't his fault that the other DB got into trouble. It was not his fault that they got rid of Zay Jones and all of his other targets. Like that wasn't really his fault. The coaching, he had 6 coaches. Y'all have some stability. Y'all have the guy that drafted him.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Now I'm gonna say this. Now it has nothing to do with really yeah, thank you, Ghost.
Damn, y'all both Saints fan too. They're both Saints fan. Sterling, just to let you know that Saints country saying it's mid.
Now I'm gonna say this is why, and then it's the price tag and it's the cost and the timing of everything. Like you give him 4 years and $150 million, so you have a 4-year commitment to him now, and it is a pricey tag, and you know that you kind of hemorrhage your money every year. You're restructuring contracts, so this tells me that hey, Michael Thomas is pretty much gone. He has not played in quite some time, so he's gone.
Come to Dallas, Michael
Davenport, the guy that you paid 2 first-round picks for.
BB.
Never got a return on him. He's out there without an offer. So you're going to lose pieces, man, because of this. It's going to be a byproduct. And, I mean, look, I don't think that, that Derek Carr, I mean, granted, it's an upgrade from, Jameis Winston.
Oh,
and it's
all of them.
A definite upgrade. Definitely an upgrade. And you bring some accuracy to the position, but I'm pretty sure you're going to start losing some pieces because of the contract. And that's my thing about it. I much rather, like I said in the past couple of episodes, I much rather them take Hendon Hooker at the 29th position if he's there.
What about both?
What? I don't think they do both. Even though they should. They should have.
But that's
the thing is that, they're going to have, that means that, Hooker's going to sit 4 years, waiting. And I doubt that, he's going to.
I mean, is he going to sit? Is he? Here's how I view it. Is he really going to sit for 4 years?
I I'm just saying
Derek Carr got a 4-year contract, but is it going to be 4 years?
I'm hoping it's a 2-year thing that they're trying to run with him.
Because the way you see it as happening, it's like, if he ain't gonna play good, he ain't gonna be there for 4 years.
So
only way he gonna be there for 4 years if y'all making the playoffs consistently and going deep into them.
And I just that's pretty much what my wish list, and my wish list is going to always be a fucking quarterback until they get one in there. I don't really care for veterans coming in, and sitting in space for give me the long-term answer. I don't want a fucking 3-year Band-Aid. Give me the fucking answer. All right. So
you saw the goals. You saw the job.
So
Alvin Kamara is serious, nigga.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. With the Saints.
I still love T. Cooper, but
that sucks for you guys. Look, I've always said if you don't have a quarterback, your roster's incomplete. However, I think you got to keep in the and I'm not a Saints fan, but you could answer this question better than I could. But it's like, what is your ultimate goal? Are you looking to just win games now? And
they are all in every single year. So I don't know what roster they're looking at, Sterling, but they feel that, hey, we can make it every single year.
But let me ask you this. Go ahead, Sterling. My bad.
Let me add this and I'll let you go. You should look at it from a different lens for the simple fact that the NFC is not the AFC. And any team in the NFC has a shot to make it to the Super Bowl. And I feel like the Saints have some solid pieces. They do need to do some more roster construction. But you got a young wide receiver in Olave. You got some decent offensive linemen. Defensively, they're good enough.
They put it together. The Saints always put it together.
You have a chance. But I agree. They definitely need to invest some of that capital in getting a quarterback and leveraging yourself for a $100 million contract with Derek Carr. That's pretty sizable for a guy that is an average to good quarterback at best.
Thank you.
Okay, here's how I see it. So you're a fan of your team, right?
More
right,
but more or less.
You're a fan. Yes, all right. So. And I get into these discussions all the time because I have a homie of mine that really I always make a shit joke and be like, yo, you believe in selling hope, and because you're always ready for the draft. But to me, I feel like if you sign Derek Carr, right, you're not only showing and trying. Like he's not. I don't know where this Derek Carr is not a good. Not saying y'all said it, but like this thing in the air that like Derek Carr is not nice at quarterback is bullshit. Like it is. Like the dude can play the position. He can play the position at a high level. He's been in an incompetent organization, and I believe that matters. I believe when he gets to the Saints, it's going to get competent. They put it together on defense. Their defense is never just shit. Y'all always have a defense that keeps your offense in games, but y'all don't ever have a fucking quarterback. Y'all had a tight end, wide receiver / whatever you need playing quarterback for a little bit. Then you tried to resurrect Jameis, you know what I'm saying? And that didn't really work. And he tried. He really got hurt. That's what happened. He really was doing good. He got hurt. Michael Thomas was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have the things I said about him, but I don't think he's a bad football player. I think he's really good at receiver. It's like you said, y'all got a young wide receiver. I do believe that at worst, which is at best, if Derek Carr sucks, y'all lose a bunch of games. Y'all got y'all's draft picks correct.
Yeah, correct. So right now the Saints have 29 and 40, and I believe they got 71. Are there?
But I'm saying they still okay. I'm saying, but carrying forward, they haven't traded any of their draft picks for anybody.
I think maybe like a third or a second.
But you have your first. You have your first, like your first. So peep this.
This far.
You know where I'm going. And Sterling, you know where I'm about to go with this. So peep this. Right. Derek Carr goes out there, right, and scum buckets and just plummets, right? Next year, y'all go fucking 2-15, right? Mm-hmm. You can get Caleb Williams.
You always
the greatest nigga ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all think that every team is not going after quarterbacks and taking a couple steps back because they ain't looking and they saying, look, And 1 year we have a chance to draft Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, and there'll be some other guys out there that we'll find about later on down the line. And even I'm missing some guys. And then the year after that, you'll be able to go after fucking Arch Manning. Like, so I mean, like it's these quarterbacks are coming in. The new wave of the NFL is to have a guy that you don't have to pay a lot of money. But if you don't have a guy, you got to pay a guy and you got to do some sort of bridge. I don't think that the Saints are in a bad position because if he does fuck up and y'all suck, his contract maybe 4 years, he going to be out of there in 2. And within those 2, you're going to lose a shit ton of games.
Like the thing with the Saints is that they're always essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a rebuild on the fly while they're trying to stay competitive. And this is something that hasn't never been done. So I don't have a lot of faith in it getting done right. So, like, that's why whenever you ask me, I'm like, okay, playoffs is pretty much, it sounds pretty good. If they make the playoffs, to me, that's a win. Considering, you know, what they're dealing with and what they're trying to do with this roster and moving forward. But, I mean, look, I'm more of a wait and see guy, you know, but I mean, the games were close whenever you had Andy Dalton there last season. You know, I think a lot of the point differential or the point margin was under a touchdown for a handful of their games. So they were in it, you know, for the most part. But I mean, bringing in Derek Carr does bring stability there for the time being. Now, you know, if he comes out here, you know, and shits the bed, then hey, you know, we bought it, we got to sleep with it. So, but
you get your pick.
Yeah, you know, and that's why, you know, got your pick.
I'm looking. I was saying, I'm looking at it from if I was the GM, right? And this is y'all gonna be like, damn, Russ, you get kind of scummy. But like, if I'm your GM, I'm trying to find a way to please the fans and set myself up. Like, and Derek Carr is the perfect way to do this. If Derek Carr has the season of a lifetime, fucking genius. It's season of a lifetime. If he doesn't, oh fuck, we lost a lot of games. I'm drafting Quinn Ewers or Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've bought myself an extra couple years as the GM. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you may be right, and I think me, you, and Sterling all would agree. We don't think that he's going to carry the Saints to the Super Bowl. But if y'all go to the second round of the playoffs, is he wrong? It's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to be wrong. And if y'all lose a bunch of games, get Caleb Williams.
Yeah, see, Ghost is right. He says we don't know how to lose. We always win at least 7 games where we'll get the dreaded mid-round pick. And that's something that we always get. You know, that's how we were always do. Whenever Mickey Loomis asked for a price tag for Sean Payton, the price tag wasn't, I want a high first-round pick. He said, I want something mid to late.
But y'all's greatness came from a free agent quarterback acquisition.
Yeah, and I mean,
in the same type of situation, they was down on Drew Brees. I'm not saying that he's gonna go win a Super Bowl for the Saints, but I'm saying, and looking at how the Jets are trying to acquire players, and looking at what the Packers are doing, a lot of people like to follow narratives that we've already seen once. You know the classic saying: "If you don't know your history, you're damned to repeat it." We have a Green Bay Packers quarterback looking to go to the Jets. We have the Saints looking to acquire a quarterback from near the West Coast. The first one was on the West Coast in San Diego. This one's in Vegas. So we're over on the West side, and they're trying to acquire a guy that people are down on. You know what I'm saying? And bring him back up with a coach that has faith in him. So like, I read what's in the TV. You know, like saying, I mean, I find it kind of corny that this shit goes down. But I can most definitely see Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets and having a mediocre season, but it being entertaining. And I can most definitely see Derek Carr going to the Saints and lighting that bitch up. It just depends on the skill position players that they go get. Because if they go out here in this draft and they go get him a couple receivers.
Yeah. I think they're going to get a tight end. I think that, they're saying that
there's some of those in there too. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if they go in there and make that happen and get – I think it's all about – you got Derek Carr. You got some picks, weapons. Like, go get him guns. Go get him bombs, missiles. Get him the things that he needs. Don't depend on him. A lot, like I say about Dak Prescott too. Don't depend on him to carry these motherfuckers. Go give him the biggest weapon that you can find. If you can find the nuke that he pushes the button and it goes boom, go find that. If you can find him a Kyle Pitts in the draft, go find him that. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get him someone that's going to elevate that game because Alvin Kamara is coming back, correct?
As of right now, yes.
That's what I'm saying. As of right now, yeah.
Yes, as of right now, yes. So we don't know how long he might be suspended for, if any. But it's still yet to be.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just saw something come up on my screen by Chris, and it was blasphemy because y'all know how I feel about Brett Favre. Because he steals from poor people from my part of town. Wait a minute. Where is it, Chris? Because I want to see what you said because you said something about comparing Aaron Rodgers the Great.
He said, "Stop me if you heard this one." Packer QB legend with a 1-1 Super Bowl record gets shipped off to the Jets. He's basically saying that the same thing. The same thing.
I thought he was taking Brett. Okay, Chris, we agree. Fuck both of them. Yeah. But no, we agree. Like, yeah. Okay, cool. And I say fuck both of y'all with the most respect ever. Except for you, Brett Favre, because allegedly you do a lot of whole ass shit, and I don't fuck with you at all. Mississippi burning, and I hope you burn with it.
So all right, so let's move on to the NBA. If you've been hiding underneath the rock, you will know that Ja Morant has gotten suspended. Last week I know Sterling said he didn't want to say anything or speak anything about Ja Morant, but here we are, brother. Ja Morant, front and center. First thing on the NBA docket.
Man. This nigga, man.
Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna let Sterling start. I knew it was gonna be a this nigga. I was just gonna wait for it. I knew this nigga. Hey.
Well, I feel like I have to talk about it because he did have flashing that gun in Denver, is where he was when he got in trouble. Okay. First of all, you had to have the gun on NBA property, on the premise, on the plane, in the arena. I think if he didn't learn anything from the Crittington Arena situation,
I'm sorry. He was holding a gun like this.
He was holding it like it was a purse, bro.
He was holding it like this.
Like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Your life ain't in danger. And I don't care what he's talking about now. I've never been in this position, but y'all don't know.
Like
y'all don't know the life that I have to live. Nigga, you were worth $200 some odd million. Nigga, stop. Just stop, bro. No one asked you to go to the trenches. No one asked you to go hang out with CMG. No one asked you if you was a fourth member of 3-6 Mafia, nigga.
Bro, that nigga went out there and said, "Hey man," he went to the club and there was when you leave the club, you can clearly see you be drunk, but there'll be a part of the parking lot that's lit up and there's a part that's dark. John went to the part that was dark and said, "Yo, can I ride with y'all?" And them niggas said, "Shit, nigga, if you want to, come on, nigga." Hey, John. No, man, hey. Nah, Ja Morant tripping,
I love it in the sense that the Grizzlies are gonna suck. They're gonna suck ass, and that's what they get for being tough fake guys or fake tough guys.
In the West.
Yeah.
Hey man,
and I was go ahead.
No, I was just saying like the video. I seen the video and I was just like excuse me. There was another video I think he released maybe it was shortly after the suspension announcement was announced, where he was I think maybe like on a private plane, and he had a fucking bottle of fucking
bro. I was gonna get into that.
Yes, bro.
Casamigos,
bro, and he Respondio or whatever fucking shit is, and he was tilting that bitch up and was drinking that whole like it was water. I said, yeah, bro, I've been around alcoholism and niggas with drinking problems, and that shit looks very familiar. Not saying that you alcoholic, but nigga, if you out there turning up all
he is
like that.
No, he is. He needs to get that shit worked out.
Yeah.
I can go. I've been around it, been in it, been of it. I've chugged a bottle too myself. Yeah, brother, man, I hope he gets help. They said he is trying to get help, but I saw that and I immediately was like, he got an issue. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, I would also say let's look further into the team, not as far as for punishment wise, but If one guy in the team is getting down like that, then please believe a lot of guys are. But I'm not here to judge them. I'm just here to tell them, young man, there's only leads down one road. Y'all heard me earlier in the year about some friend of mine that I lost. So, like, yo, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just real, and it will end. But me, I just think that we have to look at this in a lot of different ways. He's not hard. He's not of the streets. All these comments that we make, and there are truth. But I do think that we have to look at the other side of how that's viewed when you say things like that. Like when you tell somebody or tell y'all, you ain't hard, or we have to start saying these things or trying to put these things out here in a way that doesn't sound like we're putting that person down, because the psychological response when someone tells you that you're not something that you believe you are, or maybe that you're not tough, because I don't even think that when you say that you're not from the streets and shit, I don't even think it resonates with people that you're saying that they're not from a certain area. And I think guys like Shannon Sharp, these guys from the trenches, they're trying to tell you that you're not street as in you're not from that block, bro. Like, you did not live in this type of lifestyle. But when you just come out and say you're not hard, all these guys here is, if I buck at you, then you gonna go, oh, you know what I'm saying? And they're just trying to tell you I ain't no bitch. And so I think there needs to be a correlation, or some sort of, not correlation, but a discussion to correlate the differences between the two. Because I think that a lot of guys are getting confused. If someone tells you you're not street, that doesn't mean that you can't defend yourself, cuz like that just means that you're not from the streets. Like, you're not from there, bro. Like, you had a roof over your head. Like, you knew what you were gonna eat. Like, your electricity was on. Like, your water was on. Like, you did not struggle like that, bro. Like, and I think that people need to start differentiating that, and guys that hear that and people that say it, because in our culture, that gets misconstrued all the time as you're not a man, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? It gets put out there like that. And so, like, I think that leads to behavior, you know what I'm saying? The explicit behavior like you see from y'all. Drinking way too much alcohol at one moment in time. You know, holding the gun and all that type of shit. So I think that along with him taking a look at himself, we also need to look at the way that we like say these things and the way that people accept them. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, niggas mean that shit. Like, when niggas tell a nigga that they ain't street, they mean like, I can whoop your bitch ass, nigga. Like, that's what they trying to say to you for the most part when they do say it. But I do think that we need to get beyond that, like, caveman mentality, like, where if someone says that, it doesn't always mean that you just some punk, bro. Like, you just don't need to portray that type of lifestyle, because like Sterling said, you have millions of dollars. Like, you have a Nike endorsement deal. You have other endorsement deals we don't even know about.
Like,
Power, yeah, like, you have no reason.
Thing, man. And that's the thing, dude. He's been and he's worked his butt off too. Don't get me wrong, but he has a gift and ability from God, man. That's special. And who wants to be a street nigga? Like, seriously, who actually wants to be a street nigga? Street niggas don't want to be street niggas.
Yes!
Street niggas are street niggas because they haven't made a better way. They ain't got no other options a lot of times. But you want to be a street nigga when, one, you didn't grow up that way. Okay? You got two loving parents, and they gave you opportunities that people who grew up in the streets like I did wish they would have had. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, like, man, who cares? If you can't fight, who cares? Guess what? Millions of dollars do in the bank where you ain't got to fight.
Security.
Yeah.
Security.
Right. Taking care of your kids. Taking care of your kids and family.
Yes.
That's hood. That's G right there. Taking care of what, you know what I'm saying? And he could do
What
all
matters.
that. I just don't want to see a news clipping or a headline pop up says Ja Morant has been murdered or Ja Morant has done, you know, that just ruins his life and his family's life, man. That's what I don't want to see. And I'm tired of Dylan Brooks. I'm tired of these fake tough guys on the team, man. Like, first of all, if you ain't Dolph, I don't want to hear about how tough you are. Dolph is the king of Memphis, baby.
King.
Ain't he? Dolphins king of Memphis. So everybody else, man, y'all better just chill out with all that. Yeah.
No, I just like no, that's perfectly put. And you know that's what happens though. If you try to play too much, then you will crash out in them streets because they don't really give a fuck. You're just like a number entering into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and on top of this, I'm not gonna lie, man. Y'all can say, man, Russ, you just bullshit. Stop trying to stuff these hoes, man. Like, I mean, shit. Like, you only holding the gun on the camera. Excuse me, you only holding the gun on camera like this and doing all that shit. Listen to NBA YoungBoy because hoes gonna look at your story.
Yeah.
Hoes like NBA YoungBoy.
And let me tell you something, dog. The one thing I learned
Stop doing all that shit for them hoes, man. They gonna love you anyways. You know why hoes gonna love you, y'all? Cause you're fucking $200 million.
And one thing I can tell you is that them hoes always
you
love
get some hoes gonna make it rain, nigga.
Them hoes gonna always love you, but them streets will never love you, nigga.
No, they're not gonna love you. They're not
gonna
gonna
love the streets, but the streets will never love you back, nigga. And that is the goddamn truth.
Sterling said it best. Niggas in the street trying to get out that motherfucker.
You know, you don't want to be the first nigga to go back or go there, nigga. No, after you done made it,
Yeah, just the nigga just made it with it. I had a homie tell me once I was about to get in the car with some homies, and that nigga looked at me, pulled me to the side, and said, "Hey, bro, man, you want to get in the car with them niggas?" I said, "What you mean, bro?" He said, "Man, I'm just going up the stage." He said, "Man, look, some of us around here in this hood got morals. Some of us do not. You not from around here, my nigga. You need to stay right here, cuz." And I said, "Okay," and I stayed. One of them dudes in that car is no longer with us. I'm just gonna say, do not try to be street if you are not street. Do not ride with crazy street niggas if you are not street. Stay where the fuck you need to be at. Go play 2K, nigga.
Yep.
It's okay. You can get bitches playing 2K. It's okay. You can.
It's okay. Look, man,
go to class, nigga. It's okay.
They got a $250,000 tournament going on 2K, man. Who
Bro, I'm just saying. You can get bitches playing 2K and going to the library and getting straight A's, bro. You can get bitches going to the parties and not trying to shoot them up. You do not have to be this like thug ass nigga. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a nigga who's not a thug at all. It's not me, but I can't tell y'all about a dude I know that's not a thug at all, and he will whoop anybody's ass because he practices jujitsu every goddamn day. But you know what he likes? Anime, and he likes to have fun in life. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's you don't have to be this tough guy and portray that shit, bro. Just be you.
Yep,
bitches like it when you yourself, anyways.
Exactly, man. All right, so let's move on to our next subject. So we're gonna get into the Mavericks and Phoenix Suns matchup last week.
Fuck them niggas. Booker, you ain't shit, nigga. You cold, but you ain't shit.
So
I'm drawing a line in the sand.
Good. That's what I want to get into. This is the NBA's newest rivalry of the NBA.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was a rivalry last year because we whooped their ass. Right, Sterling?
Yeah, man.
Sterling like this nigga right here. I'm like a nigga like, yeah, y'all niggas want to fight? Sterling, come on. That nigga Sterling, yeah, nigga.
All right.
Damn.
Man.
All right, fuck it. This nigga Russ always talking shit.
Dog.
But no, one quote that I heard. So I want to get into the chirping shit. So one of the things that I took away was whenever Booker said what he said, Luka had the motherfucker. What you say, Skip? Like the little hop skip. He said,
"Yeah,
what the fuck you say?" And he got into his face, and I was like, I said, "Oh yeah." I said he about that shit.
I think that, and then Sterling, you saw this last year in the playoff. They were supposed to beat us, and Luka took that nigga cookie. What did T.I. say? I'm a bankhead, nigga. I take your
cookies.
And Luka took his cookie, and Booker has been salty about that shit for a long time. But those who are Mavericks fans know that Booker has been busting our ass for years. Even when the Suns were not good, Booker has been cashing out. Me and my dad talk about this shit all the time. Like, we're always like, this motherfucker Booker has a vendetta against the Mavericks. And it just so happens that as we have a young star, they meet in the playoffs. I don't remember, if y'all go watch in the bubble, Booker was hitting shit against us, talking shit to Luka. I don't know what their little beef is or whatever, or like it's just weird that they have this kind of, they don't like each other. And after what happened last year when they were up, what was it, 3-2, or they were up in the series, and Booker was talking shit to Luka, and Luka said, this motherfucker like to talk shit, when everything's going right for him. Motherfuckers always like to talk shit when they up. And what happened? Luka, we got the meme. Yeah. Luka looking at his ass like, got you, bitch ass nigga, in the off. And then what did he happen again? That's what Luka was pissed off about, is this motherfucker waits till there's 3 seconds. Luka said in the press conference, I wish he would have talked shit before 3 seconds was left in the game. So, and I get it, to Booker, like to the victor go to spoils, because Booker, hey, call me a hoe too. That is some of the most satisfying shit talk ever, when you get a person like right before you're about to beat them and they ain't shit they can do but just eat it. And so like, you know for a fact that they gonna feel it. Also on Luka's side, it is some bitch ass shit. But then to the victor, motherfuckers, it is. No, it totally is. But Sterling, you know, when you're on them lines, you trying to do anything and everything to make your opponent feel it every time you beat them, especially if they don't like it.
It's a bitch ass move by Book when you go and get Kevin Durant. I think it's some weak ass shit, man. It's like saying you went and got your big brother to help you at the fight, and you beat one nigga's ass. That's exactly what happened. You know, it just makes Book kind of go down a couple notches for me as a competitor, man. Like, I don't care who you are, bro. Like, I ain't never seen George do no shit like that. I ain't never seen LeBron really do no shit like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, like, no, you use one of these new niggas, like these new age niggas. Like, you ain't cut like the rest of them. It's weak. It's really weak. And I'm not just saying that as a Mavs fan. I'm not even saying that.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. But it's new age. But it's also, look at a guy on his team, and y'all gonna say you always find a way, nigga. Look at Chris Paul. Chris Paul has been this type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And this entire, like, he's been this type of, yeah, you really be doing a lot of like whole ass shit on the court. Like, even that game against the Mavs, he was just fucking with Luka, and you were just like, bro, like, at what point are you gonna realize it's okay to fuck with somebody, but at what point are you gonna realize that shit ain't working on him? Can we play basketball? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And like, they don't have that. But as I said, they won the game and Luka missed the shot. And I think, Boogie, to what you were saying, I think that was a culmination, because to give Booker credit, he was talking to the refs. He was like, you gonna let him basically, like they say against Braun and all the other big, you gonna let him bully his way around like that? That's what he was basically saying. He missed the shot. And I think he also looked at Luka, and I believe he read his lips. After he said what he said to the refs, Luka bucked up at him. He looked at Luka and said, nigga, that's trash. Like, you missed that bitch. And I'm not gonna lie, I would have done the same shit. If I would have yelled at the ref, that big motherfucker trying to, and then when he looked at me, I would have been like, bitch ass nigga, you missed. That's trash. You missed a fucking layup. And so I think the rivalry's brewing. The fact we beat them last year has Mavericks fans like, y'all ain't shit. We beat y'all. Suns fans like, y'all got lucky. That dynamic is always good when it comes to a rivalry, when you have a team that says you got lucky, and us on this side saying y'all just ain't shit and y'all can't hold y'all nuts when it's time. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went and got KD good because y'all need a nigga like that. Because all the other niggas on that team ain't shit. Y'all niggas weak as fuck. Phoenix, y'all weak. But y'all got KD. Y'all some hoes. KD cold as fuck.
It's totally it's super weak.
Like KD cold as fuck. KD, I have nothing to say to you because you are a fucking. He came in that game and I was like, KD is literally like, I get it now. Oh man, I've always gotten it, but I think other people don't get it. KD really just want to hoop. Like, KD is like, I do not give a fuck about what the rest of the shit you niggas got going on. Put me in the game, and I'm going to go get 25 to 30 points. And if you let me go off, I'm going to get 40 to 60. That's all I got. Sterling, you got your power rankings. Let me shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man, we're actually overtime on tonight's show, man. So let's we gonna jump in these power rankings, I'll go through them really quick. I won't give some of the advanced stats and vectors that I usually do, but coming at number 10, man, we have the Warriors. It's playoff time. It's playoff season, and I just feel like the Warriors, they haven't been great this year, but they're starting to turn it up when it matters most. You know, Wiggins and Curry, you know, they've been dealing with injuries all season, but they're actually coming into form. At number 9, we got the Nets. You know, Mikal Bridges has been killing it as a number 1 option. You know, he had over 30 points per game last week, and what a steal that is. I mean, to give up KD and all those guys, but you get some really good pieces of play, so the Nets are number 9 there. We got the Kings coming in at number 8. Domantas Sabonis hit game-winning free throws last week against the Clippers. I think he put up like 24 and 12 or something, where he was averaging last week, man. The Kings continue sitting 12 games over 500. They continue to impress. Next up, we got the Cavs. I mean, look, man, I think the Cavs could be a sneaky contender to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They won't get past that. But, man, what you see from them, just their chemistry on the court and that backcourt of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, they're just filthy good. Those two combined for 73 points against Boston. So they're going to continue to get better. And their drafting has been phenomenal, just mind you. They've been really good. The Knicks, the freaking Knicks, and I hate saying this. Like, I feel like I got to
Orange and Blues guys, baby. Orange and Blues guys.
I mean,
so I had to mimic him one time.
Oh, man. Look, Emmanuel Quickly, who shined really early in his career, not saying he's a 10-year vet, but he's really coming to his own. The past few weeks, he's been playing really well. I think he had a career high in points, 38 points against, who was it, on Sunday? I can't remember who they played on Sunday, but he had 38 points, Emmanuel Quickly. So, I don't know if it's the Jalen Brunson effect or what it is, or the Tibbs effect, but this team is 39 and 28, man. They're balling. And there are a lot of people out there who have the Knicks a little higher on this list. But, again, they're still the Knicks and they ain't playoffs yet. Up next is the 76ers. Hey, I just want to let everybody know what Luka did to them boys. Luka and Kyrie put on them boys last week was just nutty. But
anyway, Philly trash.
Because Philly, they're going to play well in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to choke. And I don't see that being any different this season. But they were the team. They ended the Bucks 16-game win streak, so I got to give you credit there. James Harden not James Harden, but Embiid might be the MVP. I mean, who knows? Next, we got the fucking Suns. Devin Booker's a bitch. So I will probably put them at like 15. He got a lot of light skin energy coming off of that. We're talking shit to Luka and those boys when you're up three seconds left and you got Kevin Durant. Like, get the fuck out of here with that talking shit.
Not
stuff.
the LSE.
Man, I'm not gonna say nothing else about them. Next up, we got the Celtics. The Celtics, man, they're just good. I don't even know how to continue to talk so well about these guys. But they did lose 2 games last week. They lost to the Knicks. They blew a 28-point lead to the Nets. Like, you're going to see these rankings.
Shout out to the Nets, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Nets.
Yeah.
Making that trade and still hooping. Mikal Bridges. Word up, my nigga.
Mikal Bridges is a bucket. The Celtics at number 3. Number 2 is the Denver Nuggets. And they've kind of been pegged as my number 2 team all season, really. Best team in the West. But if you, I don't know if you guys really get a chance to like really watch and observe them, but Michael Porter Jr. has been cooking lately, and if he can continue on that trend, the Nuggets are really going to be hard to beat when it comes to the postseason, man. And all that Kendrick Perkins shit he's talking about Jokic, man. Give Jokic his flowers. He's just a good ball player, regardless of color. Who can, stop?
Thank you.
Narrative stuff, man. And shout out to JJ Redick for standing up and saying for what other people, black people included, are saying, man. You can't.
Yes.
We understand race and inequality is an issue, but let's really aim that energy for when it's called for.
When it's
not
due.
In this situation, man. The NBA has done more for blacks, and they've done more to make this game appealing to our race than anybody has ever done in a professional setting. So shut the fuck up with that. The Nuggets are number 2. And number 1, we got the Bucks once again. Look, you can't win them all. They're 47-18, so they're going to slip up. But Antetokounmpo, he's everything for them, man. And I think I'm starting to really do think that they are the best defensive team in this league. I think that's going to bode well for them. Not only that, but they have really good key D and 3 players that kind of fill everything out. So that not only can they lock in the backcourt, but they got really good rim protectors as well. They are the best team in the league.
All right. Well, that was the power rankings, the complete power rankings, and that will be the end of our show. But before we go, social media time. You can go ahead. You can follow us all at Sports Sushi. All one word on Twitter. Sports_sushi on Instagram. Again, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and IG. We will be uploaded on Spotify. All the podcast directories, that's Apple included, Daily Motion, Odyssey, and Rumble.
Don't forget we on the TikTok, nigga. Sports
Exactly.
_sushi on the motherfucking top.
Do not forget to like and subscribe to all those things to be up to date about all of our postings and stuff like that. If you want to follow us individually, you can find me at DJ Slow Boogie with the I&E, not the Y, on Snapchat, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, all that there. Russ, but before you give yours, Russ, tell them where you can go ahead and get the March Madness sign up bracket for Sports Sushi.
Oh, I ain't even done that shit yet. We gotta wait for ESPN Challenge to come out. I do that shit on ESPN. So whenever
it's March 14th.
Next week, yeah. So next week I will. Has the ESPN bracket challenge thing already came out?
I think not until probably next week, I believe.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, because I know we're gonna be straight. Because I believe it starts on Thursday. So next Wednesday or Monday. You can look. Those that watch the show, you'll find out next Wednesday, which is the day before the tournament starts, I believe. But anyway, we got the tournament challenge. I go on the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. I will tweet this out. I'll give it to Boogie. He'll tweet this out while Instagram and Sterling will have it. So if you follow us on all these platforms, you follow Sports Sushi, you'll have it. There'll be a video about it on TikTok. We're gonna send it out. $200 to the winner. No entry fee. All you got to do is follow the link that we provide. Join our Sports Sushi tournament challenge. The winner gets $200. I'm gonna pay that shit because you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to grow the show, and the more y'all that go, the more we grow, and we'll get to the point where instead of me giving y'all $200, I'm hoping to give y'all motherfuckers like 10 G's. You know what I'm saying? So help grow this bitch from $200 to 10 G's, people. We're gonna start low and we're gonna build high. But join the challenge. Winner gets $200. Last year was $100. Every year I'm gonna go up $100 until we, you know what I'm saying, are the best ever, or we die. Shit, one of the two is gonna happen.
Either or. The
tournament challenge. But I'll explain more of it next week. But be sure to follow me, Sterling. We'll give you, of course, y'all have all the other shit. Follow me, Sterling, Boogie, and Chris, and you'll have all the information that you need for the tournament challenge and how we're gonna knock that shit out. Just sign up, pick your team, and try to win $200.
Right,
I'm gonna beat y'all niggas this year though. Oh yeah, of course you're gonna be able to find. Thank you, Boogie. I should be the one. But you can find me on Twitter. You can look for me. It's at RLClimbSP, or you can just start typing in SportsPlugRuss3 and you'll find me that way. You can find me on IG at sportsplug.russ. You can also, of course, find us on TikTok because we have a tag name. Yeah, Sports Sushi Sports _sushi.
Yeah, you can find me at Twitter at Furrow Sterling, also on Instagram, and then I started the TikTok Stilo.
I see you though. I see you though. I'm on there. I see you.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to grow my little brand, man.
TikTok is life.
TikTok, hey, and just so y'all know, TikTok will be doing full form videos, so we can put our Sports Sushi stuff in long form on TikTok.
Yep.
So that's going to be coming. So yeah, man. So I got an article that came out this week at BuffaloRumblings.com. I'll have my first official mock draft, not just for the Bills, but for the entire league coming up here next week.
All right.
Y'all fuck with that.
All right, so please tune in next week. We will continue our draft spotlight, and we will work in a Sports Sushi mock draft live on a show somewhere.
We're gonna have a meeting and talk about that, guys, because we got to do a big board show and a mock draft show.
Yeah. So we need to go ahead and have a meeting and discuss.
I was just gonna say when we do that. I was waiting for you to finish because I got some advice for everybody.
Yeah.
When we end before it cuts off. Are y'all ready?
Okay. Go ahead, brother.
All right. To all the young men out there that are trying to get their life together and figure out how to go straight and narrow. If she cries on camera, you can't trust her.
You know what? That's fucking
Sports Sushi.
Right.
I got you.